Namaste, welcome to Arthaniti, where we discuss money and money related tools to help you in your everyday investing decisions. I am Dr. Shefalika Gokhale. I hold a PhD in business practices of mutual fund houses. These videos are part of the investor awareness initiative of Samyak FinServ. Budget is an important annual event which is the cornerstone of the economic policies of a country. It shapes the financial future of that country and prosperity of its citizens. It also determines how much disposable income will remain in the hands of the investors. Nirmala Sitharaman, our finance minister, will be presenting her seventh budget in the parliament tomorrow. This will be the first budget of the Modi 3 government. What is different about this budget than the previous budgets that she had presented? Well, this will be her first coalition budget. Historically, it has been seen that when coalition governments are in power, the party with the single largest seat tally has to compromise on some of its ideologies and policy expectations to take into consideration the very diverse interests and priorities of its coalition partners, which will be visible when Nirmala Sitharaman presents her budget tomorrow. Also, the budget will have focus on continuing the development and welfare policies of the previous government. Now, from investors' point of view, what should be the expectations of investors from this year's budget? Well, continuity of economic policies is something that the investors should expect from the budget tomorrow. Since BJP has been in power for two terms, the policies implemented in their first two terms will see stability and continuity in the third term as well. Some of the key areas where budgetary spendings will be announced, well, areas like infrastructure, which has been in focus in the previous two terms of this government as well, the modernization of railways, which is an ongoing process, as well as more focus and atmanirbharta in the defense sector will also be seen. Now, the most important part is, will there be any tax concessions that Nirmala Sitharaman will announce tomorrow? While examining the income tax statistics, it has been observed, it is evident that individuals falling within the income group of 5.5 lakhs to 15 lakh rupees file the most income tax returns and bear approximately on an average 18% of income tax liability. Now, the middle income earners are the most taxed in the country. Some SOPs for this class of people so that their disposable income increases are expected in this budget. The net financial saving rate has collapsed to a 47-year-old low at 5.3% for the financial year 2023. The average stands at 8.1%. So, any tax SOPs which helps to increase the disposable income of people falling in the middle income category will not only help increase this savings rate but also help increase consumer spending, which will boost the economy. Simplification of the capital gains tax structure is also one of the expectations from this year's budget. Other two significant areas which will have budgetary focus, one being PSU companies. Aggressive and transparent PSU divestment policies are expected to be implemented in this fiscal year. Also, the ongoing process of GST optimization will be on lines to bring more and more essential and key items under the optimization process. Now, this is important for mutual fund investors. AMFI, the Association of Mutual Funds of India, has made certain recommendations for this year's budget regarding mutual funds. I will read them out and let us discuss after the budget is presented which of these recommendations was taken into consideration by the finance ministry. The first recommendation is for gains in debt funds which are held for more than 3 years. The gains should be treated as long term capital gains and taxed at 10%. funds of fund investing, which invests more than 90% in equity oriented funds, should get equity taxation treatments. Also, mutual funds which invest in overseas or international funds should get benefit of long-term capital gains similar to schemes investing more than 35% in domestic equity. So they should be both at par, domestic as well as international. Mutual funds which have retirement schemes should get same tax benefit as NPS. Also, funds should be allowed to accept mutual funds should be allowed to accept funds under 54EC, same as National Highway Authority or rural electrification bonds. That is, if you invest in long term capital gains in mutual funds, then you can save the original long term capital gains tax. Right? Gold and silver mutual funds should be taxed similar to gold and silver. The next recommendation is TDS on NRIs should be made simpler and at a flat 10% instead of multiple rates. TDS limit for dividends on mutual funds be increased to 50,000 from the current 5,000. Then long-term capital gains on equity mutual funds which are held for more than 3 years should be made zero. This is going to be a very interesting recommendation if implemented. Long-term capital gains on equity mutual funds held for more than 1 year and less than 3 years should continue at 10%, but with the limit of 2 lakhs instead of the current 1 lakh. Equity linked saving schemes ELSS with a minimum amount of 500 which is currently existing, and above which multiples of only 500 is allowed should be reduced to rupee 1. So basic investment of 500 and above that in multiples of rupee 1 should be allowed. Like equity linked tax saving schemes, debt linked tax saving schemes should also be allowed. Now, these are some of the recommendations made by AMFI for this year's budget. Let us see which of these recommendations are accepted and implemented, and a decision is taken by the finance minister in her budget when she presents it tomorrow. Budget decisions are crucial as they shape the investment landscape by directing spending towards specific sectors, influencing their growth and profitability. Understanding these provisions of the budget is crucial. It directly affects our disposable incomes, our tax liabilities, and investment opportunities. The various provisions of the budget help us make informed decisions, optimize our savings, and strategically plan our investments for a secure and prosperous future. So, after the budget is presented tomorrow, we will once again discuss the various decisions that were made in the budget and presented in the parliament and how it will affect our investment decisions. So, till next time, stay safe and goodbye.